One more example of a child working on a project with Scratch where we were making use of these 4 Ps. Hopefully I can. So this is a project that I saw at one of the after-school centers that we work with. We developed these after-school centers called computer clubhouses, where children from low-income communities come to learn how to express themselves creatively with new technologies. And I went to one of the clubhouses in Los Angeles, and there was a child working on a project somewhat like this. It wasn't this exact project, but it was a project like this. And it was a project where I can control the fish to eat little fish. Not very good. There it is. So I can move the big fish to eat little fish. So I saw the boy who was creating this project, and he was very proud of the project, and I thought it was a really interesting project. But he was feeling a little bit frustrated when I met him, because although he liked his game, he wanted the game to keep score, and he didn't know how to keep score. So I showed him a way to keep score in Scratch. I showed him that there's a part of Scratch called a variable. And I showed him that you can make a variable, and it can type in the word score, and you get new blocks to set the score and change the score. And I showed him the block that said change score by 1, and he immediately saw how he could use this in his program, because this is the script where the big fish eats the little fish. So he added that there, and then every time the big fish eats the little fish, the score goes up by 1. Now the score is 2 and 3. So he saw this was working. He was so happy. He reached out his hand to me, and he said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And I thought, and I wondered, how often do algebra teachers get thanked by their students for teaching them variables? And that doesn't happen very often. And I think it's because when children learn about variables in algebra class, they oftentimes don't see the purpose of it. So why would they thank the teacher? Because it's not something that they're so excited about learning. But here, he saw how we could make use of variables, and he continued to do other projects using variables. And when I asked his teacher about it, actually, they'd already learned about variables in the classroom, but I think he wasn't paying attention because he didn't see the purpose of it. But once he learned it in Scratch, he kept on using it and using it in more sophisticated ways. And I think that's one of our goals with Scratch. We see that if children learn concepts in a meaningful project, that they make a deeper connection with the ideas, and they're willing to dive deeper to learn more about those ideas. So actually, we were having a discussion this morning with a variety of teachers and researchers, and we were talking about, well, which is more important for children to learn core ideas like variables or other mathematical and scientific ideas, or for them to be creative thinkers? And I think that's a false dichotomy. We can do both. Both of them are important. And I think that the best way to learn the core ideas is if you do it as part of a project that's meaningful to you. Because we've seen over and over for many children that they'll make a deeper connection with those ideas and continue to dive deeper if they can use the ideas like a variable in a project that they really care about. So we see again that the 4 Ps were at work. He learned about this while working on a project, not just by solving a problem given in algebra class, but by working on a project. It was something he was passionate about. He loved his game. It was with peers. Actually, in this case, he was getting an idea from me that we were working together to expand it. And he was doing it in a playful spirit where he was experimenting and trying new things as he worked on his project. Now, these are just